Talk less and build more, I think, is one of these lovely principles from an industry perspective that is just making this shift from a process where we had to spend 18 months coming up with an insight, go through multiple rounds of PowerPoint decks, and be able to come up with something which then had to be tested to hell before being set live. I want people to invest the same amount of craft in the thinking and work, but I think what's exciting is about doing the work. It's about getting out there and testing what works. It's getting out there and putting work live and being able to understand how it works with one audience and another. That tonality, that feel for this industry, I think is super important, because there's a lot of talk about the hypothesis of what works and what doesn't. I think until you really understand against different audiences with different creative routes, then you have a point of which to understand and deliver true insights back to the client. I think these are two of the key factors that we need to look at creatively. Currently, people talk about lots of how-tos and what's right and wrong on platforms. I don't think that we can say it. If you talk from the principle of relevancy and reward, then I think you're going a long way there. What I mean by that is moving from universality, moving from a place in which we create one singular insight or one singular piece of work, which we hope is going to work across a broad range of people, to being able to say, actually, how do we tailor this work so it is far more impactful for the people who are seeing it, that it works better in feed. As you're scrolling through your phone, actually, this is something that's going to be pop and it's going to be powerful to me. And that can look like great, fantastic video work and film that has always worked to move people's hearts and minds. But it can also look like creating genuine value for people, and a well-targeted coupon can come through in that way as well. What we've seen with brands like Vanish, they took great print work and they were able to say, here's a beautiful idea, giving a fresh coat of white. But what they were able to do was just target that work to mums, to guys, to women. Look at how we can just put it in front of somebody, and it's so much more relevant when it lands there. Therefore, it's that much more rewarding. And you can make sure as you go through, you understand that reciprocity. What value are we giving back to people for their time? So looking to stop people's thumbs, we talk about thumb stopping value in feeds, and as people are scrolling through, what's this point at which it's going to make them pause and take in the image or the film, and then what are we giving people back for that? Something like Etihad, where we worked with them and with the photographer Norman Jean Roy, we shot this beautiful campaign for them. They were looking to, it was flying reimagined, so it had to deliver beautiful, well-crafted images. It was a fantastic award-winning photographer, well-crafted images, and the work is both sort of from a stills perspective, and also we looked at moving images just to create one essence or one small bit of movement which stops the eye, and you get that piece back. You smile, you absorb it, and you move on. Great work moves people. Great work has always moved people, and I think when we're looking at a feed-based world, that's the kind of work that I'm looking for brands to be delivering. It's the kind of craft that people expect, and it's the kind of impact on sales, on affinity, on awareness that makes a massive difference. When we look at films coming through in feed, and we've seen an enormous growth in film, we see about 4 billion videos consumed daily. That's really exciting, and we're seeing massive growth across the platforms. But equally, we need people from brands, as they're developing the work, to understand that as people are scrolling through feed, what has that thumb-stopping power? And then equally, how do we do some brand attribution early on in the film? How do we make sure that we pull people in with relevant images, relevant content? How we're testing and learning to make sure that comes through? And then people talk a lot about time length of a film on mobile and say it should be very short. I don't know that we know that. I don't think that there are concrete time lengths. A great story is a great story. People will watch something for as long as it is relevant to them. So making sure that early point pulls people in, and then take them through into the magical world that you want to portray for them.